Have you guys heard about anesthetized tattooing? If not, I'm going to give you the lowdown on it, and you're not going to believe what it costs. So, for years, tattoo artists and clients alike have been trying different numbing solutions for the tattoo process. Recently, a new procedure has come about that has completely changed the game. Tattoo artists are starting to tattoo their clients while under anesthesia. Now, this is a procedure that's pretty much only for the ultra wealthy and celebrities. Some notable figures who have gotten these tattoos as of late are Drake, Post Malone, Offset, Lil Durk, and Jake Paul. Most recently making headlines is Dak Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys. He underwent an 11-hour tattoo session while sedated with anesthesia. In this session, he got his entire leg tattooed all in one day. So this procedure has been popping up in several different tattoo studios across the United States, but most notably, an artist by the name of Joaquin Ganga has brought sedated tattooing into the public eye. Ganga has a tattoo studio in Los Angeles where they offer a service called No Pain. Essentially, the service they're offering, the client gets put to sleep, and then up to 5 or 6 different tattoo artists will work on the client all at once to complete a huge piece of work in a super short amount of time. Or in Post Malone's case, I believe he got maybe 5 different smaller tattoos done all at once on like each limb. But it was crazy to see the photos of this. It looked like a legit clinic of some kind. And there's an anesthesiologist there, of course, taking care of the sedation part of things. And then just like 5 scruffy dudes with face tattoos just going to town. The cost of tattooing is certainly at an all-time high nowadays. So when I first saw this, I had to imagine that the cost for, an anesthesiologist on top of hiring 5 tattoo artists at the same time had to be incredible. So I looked into it and reached out to a couple of the studios who actually offer this service. Pricing for this procedure is not generally posted anywhere publicly, but I was able to get a quote from a few different tattoo studios that offer the service. Ganga Tattoo in Los Angeles was able to give me a pretty clear price estimate, and they said I'd be looking at about $47,000 at minimum. Some speculation on the internet suggests that these multiple artist type sessions can run you upwards of $100,000. I'm curious, for a procedure like this, is tipping customary? Like, we run a nice tattoo studio over here in Philadelphia, and the pricing is not cheap, if I'm being quite honest. And I don't generally expect tips because I feel like tipping is geared towards waiters, service people. Providing a high-end service like this is just, I don't know, I appreciate it when people tip me, but it's never something that I expect. I'd be curious whether or not these artists get tipped or not. Like, if your mechanic did a $20,000 job on your car, you wouldn't tip anything on top of that. Though I guess if you have $100,000 to spend on a tattoo, it probably wouldn't make much of a difference to you. So this innovation in the industry has stirred up quite a bit of controversy. I myself think it's pretty interesting. I'm glad to see artists kind of pushing the boundaries of what's possible in tattooing, but there's definitely some major concerns there as well. The biggest question it raises for me is, when something eventually goes wrong during one of these procedures, which will happen inevitably, what does that look like for the rest of the tattoo industry? This past year in 2022, the European Union started regulating tattoo ink. They banned over 4,000 different chemicals that are regularly found in tattoo ink. Personally, I understand the need for regulation, but I also don't love the idea of the government breathing down our necks and telling us essentially how to do our jobs or what we can or can't do. Because up until now, for the most part, the tattoo industry has kind of govern itself pretty effectively, at least in my opinion. So the future really remains uncertain on this. Again, when something goes wrong during one of these procedures, there's definitely going to be government intervention, and I guess we'll have to wait and see what that actually means for the tattoo industry. Definitely let me know your guys' thoughts. I'm genuinely curious to get some outside perspective on how people are feeling about this new innovation in the industry.